Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone joining us today. My name is Greg Soteropoulos, and on behalf of Publications, we welcome you to today's webinar. If you can please find the question box located in the dashboard over there or over there. Please send me a little note and tell me if you can hear me clearly and if you could see my slide where you're tuning in from. I see we have some teachers joining us that have been with us before. We have some new teachers with us today. Thank you again for coming. Serbia, Peru. Hello, Greg. Tikanis. I love it. Polika Live Haristo. Panama, Thailand. Hello, Clark. How are you, my dear friend? Nice to see you with us again. Serbia, Mexico. Wow. From all over, every Pakistan, from all areas of the world, thank you so much for joining us. Today's webinar is something that really has played an integral role in education during these turbulent times. Laughter and building confidence in our students. And in doing so, I wish to share with you a very quick story. Hello, Argentina, how are you? Something happened this morning with my son, and I'm going to be using a word, but please, I just want to clear the air. Do not take it, personally. It is a word that is not considered polite to use. I'm just using it in context to what my son did, and he made me laugh. So I wake up this morning, and I have taught my son the acronym for Fridays. On Fridays, when he wakes up, he says, TGIF, Dad, TGIF, Baba. And the acronym, right, TGIF, right, thank, T, thank, goodness, G, thank goodness, it's Friday, F, right? It makes perfect sense, right? It's logical, right? So this morning, my son wakes up, he's in his room, he's dancing around, and he's saying, shit, 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 shit. And I'm going, Harris, are you okay? What are you saying? That word that you're saying, you understand that it's in the group of words that we don't say. It's a bad word, right? It's not polite to say that word, right? Because I speak to him in English all the time. So my son says, no, I know, but Baba, shit. And I go, do you need to go to the bathroom? And he goes, no. I'm so happy it's Thursday. And I said, what? And he goes, I'm so happy it's Thursday. And I said, excuse me? I said, wait a minute. So, S, so, happy, H, it's Thursday, T. And I said to myself, oh my goodness. I said, what? And I started laughing like I am now because I'm thinking about it. My reaction, my instinct, right, was to reprimand him, to teach him a lesson. But in actuality, he taught me a lesson this morning. So, teachers, if you really want to excite and spruce up your Thursday morning classes, show this acronym to your students. I am sure that they will get a kick out of it. Just make sure they understand what it means so they don't go back to their parents and tell them a new word that they learned in school today. But I just wanted to start off this way because it really connected with today's webinar. Okay, so before we start class, right, the countdown begins and we say, okay, what are we going to do today, right? What are our goals? What are our intentions in school, right, in our lessons? And in doing so, I want us to think for a moment, right, about a quote, a saying, a phrase, okay? To be or not to be, that is the question. Now, my dear teachers, where have we heard this before? Where have we seen this before? Who has created this incredibly popular saying, quote, verse, whatever you wish to call it. Yes, excellent. Right on. Teachers are typing in the question box. Guys, this is going to be a very interactive webinar. Find this question box in the dashboard. Send me the answer. Where did you see this before? So we have Mr. S. Oh, thank you very much. But you're talking about Shakespeare. Okay. Shakespeare, Hamlet, Hamlet, Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, close. Hamlet, good. Shakespeare, good. Romeo, good. Close. Love it. Excellent. You're all right. Spot on. But when we do the countdown for a lesson, I want us to think of this particular quote as such. To laugh or not to laugh? That is my question. Are we allowed to laugh as much as we should? Are we allowed to take the time out in our busy, hectic day to laugh? Or are we as adults suppressing our laughter, our humor? Our students, are they allowed to chuckle if you make a mistake? Do you chuckle at yourself when you make a mistake in front of your students? These are things we need to think about because this all plays a very, very special role in confidence, right? You role modeling confidence to your students and your students having the opportunity to exude confidence in front of you and their peers, right? So another little story I wish to share with my son. This is Harris, and we like to be silly, we like to be quirky, we like to be very, very cute. We're in the car, and I always say to him, um, someone just writes, am I able to use sarcasm with my students? I will answer that later on in the webinar. You may find the answer through what I'm going to say later on. Okay, very, very good question though. Don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I say this to him all the time because he always forgets to wear his seatbelt. Always, right? So let me ask you a question, teachers. What do we say to our students in class? What do we say to our students in face-to-face when they come in? Do we say, children, please take your seats? Come on, please take your seats, children. Do we say that to our students sometimes? I think we do, right? I think we can all agree that we say this to our students. Do we also say, please sit in your seat? Go and sit in your seat, please. Now, semantics, sit on your seat, sit in your seat. This isn't a grammar explanation, but you're going to see the point about laughter in a moment. So I was thinking, because my son said something to me in the car, and I created this slide because, again, I had a chuckle. So generically, a seat is any space where it is customary to sit. Okay. While a chair is a very specific article of furniture designed for sitting. So I said to him at this point, I said, Harris, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. He goes, I don't want to wear my seatbelt. I said, you have to wear your seatbelt. He says, I don't want to wear my seatbelt because it's not a seatbelt. I said, what is it? He goes, it's a car belt. I said, excuse me? One of those other moments I have with him where I just go, huh? Pardon me? Repeat, por favor. I don't understand. And he says, this is a car belt. If you tell me to put on my car belt, I'll put on my car belt. This is not a seat belt because this isn't really a seat. And I said, okay, the logic of a child, 7 years old, second grade. Do I correct him? No. Did I explain this, what I just explained to you? Yes, because in school in Greek, it's roughly the same thing. And so my son looked at a situation from a different perspective. I thought it was hilarious. I actually laughed at this. Okay, so someone writes, I always make mistakes so that the students can spot the mistakes and correct me. But if they don't get it, I ask if there are any errors in what I said. That's a very good um, activity to do with your students. Hey, Dad, I wish you would let mom drive. It's more exciting. It is sometimes more exciting, but this particular time, I couldn't. I was floored by what he said. Children correct adults now. Ha ha ha. Yes. Not only do they correct us, but they are allowing adults to look at the world around us, both of us and our students, with a different pair of eyes, right? A different lens, so to speak, in our glasses of life, right? Okay, so let's jump right into this. Enough storytelling. Okay, that's going to be for one of our conversation webinars about storytelling. Confidence. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this word. All right, it is something that I try to promote and teach on a daily basis with students, teachers, and those that are around me. Because I consider this as a superpower that our future global agents of change, our FGACs, they desperately need this, and they desperately need to strengthen this because it will ensure that they will continue their love for learning and will certainly help them reach their goals, dreams, and aspirations in life. And what better way to do this, my dear friends, than with a smile and a little laughter, right? Wouldn't you agree? So, this is something that we have to look at and try to insert on a daily basis with our students. Okay. Now, I'm talking about laughter, but have we ever taken a seat? Have we ever sat back to see what is laughter? What is it all about? Now, things that I share with you during my webinars, surely I implore you to take bits and pieces and share it with your students, okay? Laughter is a physiological response to humor consisting of two main parts. And those two parts are a set of gestures along with the production of some type of sound. Okay. When we laugh, okay, the brain pressures us immediately to conduct both of these activities at the same time. When we laugh really from our gut, heartily, changes occur in many parts of our body, our arms, our legs, and our core. Have you ever had that feeling that when you laugh so much that your stomach hurts because the muscles in your stomach flex from laughing so much? Uh, Someone writes, when students uh, tell them to be proud, speak loud, and show your wonderful English skills. Yes, you know, um, it's very important to do so. And in laughter, okay, uh, it's something that if we look at it a little bit deeper, which we're going to do right now, right? Believe it or not, and these are some tips and some facts that I love to show students. 15 facial muscles contract when we are smiling and laughing, right? There's a stimulation of the zygomatic major muscle. Now, I love this word, right? Zygomatic major muscle. You say this to your students, they're going to say, "What is that?" That's like a superpower, like something that we don't have. Actually, it is something that we have. We all have one, a zygomatic major muscle. And what is it? It's the main lifting mechanism of our upper lip when we laugh, right? So the epiglottis half closes the larynx so that air intake occurs quite irregularly, making you sometimes gasp. So when you go, you do that. Tear ducts, right, may activate. And I laughed so much that I was crying, right? Has that ever happened to you? But then it gets really great when our mouth is open and closing from laughing, struggling for oxygen, right? We're gasping for air. Our tear ducts are coming down. Our face is getting moist. Our face is turning red and purple. And then There are the noises. Oh my, the noises we make when we laugh. So I would like to take this moment to have all of you jump into the question box, please. I just checked to see how many we are. We are quite a few. Come on, come into the question box. All right. What makes you laugh? That's my first question. My dear friends, what makes you laugh? What is it that makes you laugh? We haven't laughed enough during this quarantine period, during this coronavirus period, during this fearful, uncertain period. Let's get that out. Let's get the emotion of joy and happiness and laughter and the emotional thermometer, that number one, to make students and adults feel good about what's going on. What makes you laugh, guys? So, a good joke. Yes, a good joke always brings a chuckle to me. Something funny, a good joke. My little brother makes me laugh. Excellent. Any funny situation makes me laugh. My students make me laugh. A good joke, a funny definition makes me laugh. My nephew makes me laugh. So far we have been, there are situations that make you laugh, people that make you laugh, and then um, let's say text or jokes that make you laugh, right? Funny gestures. When in class, a student gives you so much irrelevant but funny information for an answer um, of a question asked. Yes, that sometimes is hilarious where they just give you this whole um, encyclopedia answer, right? When it could have just been done with one sentence. Facial expressions, embarrassing situations, absolutely. Now, this is the next question. I love this question. Are you ready? This is where I really want you to be honest. I'm not going to say any names. I promise. Okay, what noises do you make? Come on. What noises do you make? Remember your authenticity. You're all authentic in how you laugh. Share with me. I promise I won't tell anybody. What noises do you make when you laugh? Think about it. It's okay. Don't be shy. We're all teachers in here. Let's go. Come on. Who's going to be the first one? Really? Ah, the Lion King. I sound like the hyenas in the Lion King. Thank you so much for your honesty. I'm going to say your name. No, just kidding. I'm not going to say your name. Um, Sometimes I snort. So when you mean you snort like a wild boar, or do you snort like a little piglet? Like let's get authentic in how we make these. Like what kind of noises do you make? Like a boar. Oh my goodness. Would you like to have a excuse me? Would I like to have a cookie later? Would I like to have a cookie later? I would love to have a cookie later. I don't know where that comes into, but thank you. You scream. You scream when you laugh. Oh my goodness, you're a screamer. Oh man, that's kind of scary sometimes, right? So you're the one that when someone says something or when you see something, everybody looks at you and says, "What's wrong?" Right? Someone else, oh, we have two. Oh, you snore. You snore or you snort? Do you snore like when you're sleeping or do you snort like a pig? Because that is very authentic. If you snore like when you're sleeping when you laugh, uh, like like a cow, like a cow, you make the noise of a cow. How does that? How does that happen? But I love it. Okay, authentic, very nice. Okay, um, let's move along. I don't want to spend too much. Oh, Abbott and Costello. So let's have a little bit of time to have a little chuckle together, shall we? In Abbott and Costello, it is a very, very old-fashioned uh, comedic group of two gentlemen, one tall and a little bit thin, one short and a little bit fat, and they their interactions are hilarious to those who know Abbott and Costello. Now, some of you may not find this funny. What they're going to do is they're going to be exchanging money, but they're going to be making mistakes, and you're going to see what's going to happen. Okay. Let me just change the audio setting here. Just to make sure all the technology is working, being a teacher, we must make sure that our students are okay. When I start playing the video, please give me a thumbs up if you can hear it, okay, as I change the microphone. Okay, so this is what we do. Plan A, plan B. Just wait a minute. Tell me now if you can hear the sound.
Hello. You gave too much money. I'm not going to cost all this. If you got 2 tens for a 5, just so happen to have it. That's it now. He's a regular scout, that's why. Right, what's wrong? Just a minute. $15 went south. You me around your fat pocket. Take it easy. You got 2 tens for 5, and then like I said, I need 2 tens for 5 over there. Wait a minute, are you accusing me of cheating? No, but you got 2 tens. Here's your 5. Give me back my 2 tens. Right. Here's 2 tens. Give me a 5. You did to me. Say it again.
Oh, hello, hello. I'm sure you can hear me now, can't you? You see, the trials and tribulations of technology, when they give you new gadgets to use, it just sometimes doesn't work, but the flow is there, right? So what happens here? We have Abbott and Costello, where the poor guy is being cheated out of money. He thinks he's winning afterwards. He's not really. And so his laughter and his body language just makes you start to laugh, right? At what he is doing and how he is reacting. Okay. Now, with laughter comes confidence, having confidence. But what is confidence? What is it really? Um, when you feel sure of your abilities in class, as a teacher, as a student, when you feel sure about yourself, then yes, you have confidence, right? But it's not done in an arrogant way, but in a realistic, secure way. Now, I will explain why I say secure. Confidence, my dear teachers, is not about feeling superior to others. I do not want students who think that they are confident doing so by having a superiority complex. It is quite different. It is an inner knowledge that you are capable of doing anything and everything that you put your mind to. That's confidence. And I see that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that these future global agents of change that we are working with on a day-to-day basis, that they need a little bit of assistance, guidance in increasing their confidence. In doing so, We want them to feel secure rather than insecure. So, are you ready? This is how we tackle the issue regarding confidence. Write this in the question box, please, so that I may share this with other people that are with us, other teachers. What are some insecurities that our students have in class? Okay. What are some insecurities that our students have? You're going to see where I'm going to go with this. So you mentioned public speaking, yes? Making mistakes, being laughed by others, pronunciation, how to pronounce some words. Again, making mistakes. Um, they do not know how to speak correctly, um, embarrassing themselves, right? Not good enough, embarrassing themselves. So to custom, to customize confidence in a class, you must first write down your students' insecurities, right? Low self-esteem, again, making mistakes. They are afraid of making mistakes because they may seem stupid in front of their classmates. You see, guys, these are the things that are holding our students back in raising their confidence level. So what do we do to help them with this? Well, the first thing, as some of you said earlier on, is when you're teaching, if you do something silly, if you say something silly, if you make a mistake, make fun of yourself. Say, oh man, there I go again, confusing my grammar and I'm the teacher. Holy moly, what happened to me now? Right? And some of your students will start to laugh and you will say, you see, oh, I'm human just like you guys. I make mistakes, you make mistakes. In this classroom, we're supposed to make mistakes. And you act, you perform, right? When you do that, you are indirectly assisting in nurturing their confidence, right? Um, the question, the comments are going flying through. Um, yes, uh, effectively, especially for those who are EFL learners, uh, that mistakes are very, very important, right, to be made, right? Praising them, absolutely. Um, in what you said before, excuse me, let me just scroll up for a moment because you guys are spot on today. Your answers are great. Oh my goodness, pronunciation. I mean, teachers, let's face it, okay? I mean, I don't even speak English very well because I have my New York accent that comes in very often. Um, your pronunciation, your intonation, even as teachers, we don't pronounce our words correctly sometimes, right? So we need to use ourselves as the role model, as the example, right? That laughter, yes, can be given by things that we do as teachers. Laughter can be expressed by things that we do as teachers, right? And if we start to really focus on their insecurities in our lessons, in our storytelling, in our interactions with our students, you will start to increase their confidence level slowly. That's all we want. We want slow, steady, gradual steps. Okay. Um, I do that almost every day, laugh out loud. Lately, my mouth and mind are not that connected. Whew, that happens to me all the time in my webinars. Sometimes I'm speaking, I can't remember what I said. I'm thinking 5 sentences ahead of what I want to say because I consider my webinars like a story. Nothing is scripted, it's all spontaneous. So I never know what's going to come out of my mouth next. And so I'm just like, sometimes my brain is literally disconnected from my mouth. Now, when you say that to your students and you go, I'm just like, and you make facial expressions, they're going to laugh, right? This is what we do as teachers, guys. Okay. Now, here's the key. Follow me with this. And this is something to teach. The ultimate form of confidence, though, is knowing that my flaws, my imperfections, because none of you have written about physical, like insecurities, physical insecurities, right? How they look, how they dress. um, just their characteristics, right? Their imperfections and mistakes, they don't diminish you, but they complete you. Think about it. They complete you. Now, I'm not talking about they completely where uh, McGuire with "you complete me" and that kind of sobby stuff, right? I'm talking about serious um, core issues that if a student, right, can accept that in life as they mature, as they grow, as they develop, their flaws will lessen, their imperfections will change, their mistakes will be corrected, right? This is what makes you a human being as you grow through life. But the whole point is accepting who you are, right? Um, I laugh at this movie because he comes in saying, "Oh, but you complete me." It's like, yes, but you should have completed yourself first, been okay with yourself first, and then she will better your best. That's how I see it. Okay. Um, so if someone else's negative opinion, right, about you, right, now think about this for a moment. If someone else's negative opinion only matters if you let it affect you, if you let it matter, like think about that. It makes perfect sense, right? Once you stop caring about what others think about you and you begin working on yourself, then you will have truly embraced who you are and how you are growing up and developing. This means peace of mind and freedom to focus on so many things. Nobody will be able to stop you from achieving your goals. Now, I want you all to reflect on your childhood for a moment. Go back to when you were young. In primary school, what was it like? Just think about it. You don't have to write it, just think about this. What was it like? Were you picked on? Did you pick on other students? Were you the smart student? Were you the slow student? Were you the jock, the sports, the athletic guy? Um, were you the one who everybody came to talk to because you listened actively? Um, were you the loner? What were you in school? As you started to grow and excel and develop from primary to middle school to high school to university and on, hadn't that changed throughout the years? Or did it stay the same throughout? You see, it's the job of the teacher to allow that change to occur by being aware of your students, their insecurities, using laughter and humor in the class to change the atmosphere of the class when you see that the insecurities are brewing. Okay. Tyrion Lannister, right? Never forget what you are. Games of Thrones. The rest of the world will never forget what you are. Wear it like armor, and then it can never be used to hurt you. You see, once you're comfortable with yourself, as you grow and you're comfortable with how you are changing, that in itself is going to protect you against everything else that's around you. The beauty of teaching is that we can assist our students in so many ways to develop into the human beings that they are going to become later on in life. You see, kids don't understand this quote, right? Kids are being, um, how can I say it? They're being distracted. They're being fooled by what's going on the internet with influencers and reality stars and TikTok and this and that. I could see it with my daughter who's 12. Within a 10-month period, she's changed somewhat because of this external influence that is sometimes even more influential than me, her father, because in her personal time, she is with that environment. In school, they talk about it. On her cell phone, she's with it, right? So, as teachers, as I've made this connection that teaching is somewhat like parenting, and parenting should be somewhat like teaching. Um, these children, these future global agents, um, do need us to care about them in a little bit more, in a way that's a little bit more than just being a teacher of English. Okay, right now my brain is thinking more than my mouth. Okay, let's continue. Humor. Now, humor, what is it? Right? I mean, with laughter, humor comes attached. The tendency of experiences to provoke laughter and to provide amusement, right? People of all ages and all cultures respond to humor. Now, most people are able to experience it. They're amused, they smile, they laugh at something funny, a pun, a joke, even sarcasm, as someone wrote before, and thus are considered to have a sense of humor. But be very careful, because the jokes that you like, the jokes that you tell, the sarcasm that you use must be used tactfully, must be used in a way that will not hurt, embarrass, belittle the person that you are doing it with. Okay. Humor is just a way to liven up a boring subject. Is it? Or does it have a positive impact on learning? You see, when we use humor in the classroom, it must be done very, very carefully. You cannot just in the middle of your lesson throw out a joke and be like, oh, okay, it didn't work. No, you can't do that. You have to know when, where, and how to do it. So my question to you is it just a way to liven up a boring subject, or to have a positive impact? What do you think, teachers? As I drink my water. And you could probably hear the water being gulped down my throat with this, so I apologize. I've lost everybody. No one's here. Everyone is asleep. They can't hear me. All of you are just wake up. Okay, you're awake. Good. It can work for both. It impacts their concentration and learning as well. Um, you can't sleep in my class. No. Positive impact. Typing. Typing. It helps in both ways. Okay. Typing. You were typing. Okay. Got it. Good. I like it. Humor would help since it will re-engage them. But teacher, if you'd talk a little lower, I could talk a little lower. Lower? Oh, slower. Am I talking too loud or am I talking too fast? Too fast. Yes, that happens to me. I get excited sometimes when I teach, when I do presentations, right? And I need to just relax a little bit, right? I have experienced a lot. Most teachers just throw jokes, but we don't really get, we don't get the jokes. So now as a teacher, I try to implement games to amuse them. Okay. Well, how about this? How about I offer you something here? Humor can improve student engagement and confidence. So sit back, take out your thinking cap, okay, and let's see if humor distracts actual learning. Maybe our students are just paying attention to the laughs and are ignoring the connections we're trying to make. Um, you want to sleep in my class if I would speak lower. I'm not going to let you sleep in my class, Zorica. Sorry. No, no, not today. No, no. Maybe our students are just paying attention to the laughs and are ignoring all the awesome learning. So we're going to watch a video right now. Okay. When you're done, I want you to think, what topics, what skills can you connect to this? I'm going to show you another video, and I like to show these videos to students. Why? Because they're traditional videos when I was a kid. I used to think that they were hilarious. What's the difference between this and Abbott and Costello and what's going on? I know it's a joke, silly, because I can see you. Your camera's on. Just kidding. That's a joke too. So, um, with this, right? I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo, right? Uh, when I show these videos to students, they sit back and they say, "What is this? This is clean humor. This is humor that really, if you think about it, it's hilarious." Okay, so take some notes. See what's going to happen here. I'm going to change the audio.
Once upon a time, in the woods lived a person. He was a good man with a noble heart. He spent his time in the forest, growing down fruits from the trees. His parents made him appears, running down flowers from the trees. Running work every day made his hands strong and powerful. Good with sometimes, and I think like the old man, his first word was sure. Please, orange juice. Saying. What are you getting all confused? He's very quick. So they come in on the way home. And he got frustrated that his home became rough, and he developed a happy.
Okay, so thank you. Yes, it's something. I try very hard to find clips that students will look at. I mean, this is in black and white, right? So right away they're going to be like, "What is this in black and white?" But Ricky Ricardo is dressed very nicely, right? He has his accent, right? Lucille Ball has her own accent, right? But what things are being taught in this little video, in this little clip, right? What topics can you relate to in your everyday class? Can you write it down in the question box, please? Right? Absolutely. Pronunciation, right? Um, this wouldn't be possible in my country because we read, pronounce exactly as it is written. But think about if you showed this to your students, how you would be sparking fireworks in their curiosity, right? Think about it. Reading skills, stress, pronunciation, homograph, right? Fluency, flow, um, you know, confidence, guys, right? I mean, look at him. He's reading, he's making mistakes. Don't pick on me. You're making me all confused. Come on now, right? I mean, he's doing it though, right? He's showing confidence, right? He's trying. Yes. So this is certainly when you're teaching words like this, it's a fantastic um, bridge to use with your students. Okay. All right. So we have these aha moments, right? There could be a moment, which is not so funny. There could be a moment, which is sort of funny. There could be a moment, which is funny, but not LOL, laugh out loud. And then there's that extremely amazing, gut wrenching, hilarious moment. Now, I'm not a funny guy. I mean, I'm not a comedian, so to speak, but doing what I do and being in education for 25 years, 26 years now, I've seen that we need to, because everyone has it, we need to dig deep and find that humorous side in our personalities. Yes. And when we do that, um, we need to exploit this and see how we can use it to our advantage when we are connecting with our students. Um, so here are some tips that I've come up with, right? First and foremost, be yourself. Please don't try to copy any famous comedians or actors. Surprise your students. Set up an expectation this way and then boop, immediately undermine it, right? Surprise them. Make sure that humor is appropriate, okay, and not harmful to other individuals or groups, such as sarcasm, as we mentioned before. Um, I personally have been sarcastic in front of teachers when I do live presentations. It works extremely well for me. It breaks the mood sometimes because as I'm speaking and as I'm scanning, I'm finding out which pocket of people would I be able to do it with, right? Which people would have that humoristic side so that I can throw it out there, right? And surprise people. Um, to help with students, I would say to watch the shows, the apps, read the books that they read. That's kind of funny that I wrote it because kids don't really read books anymore. No, but try that. Um, this is a wealth of potential references as jokes to see what they're into. Okay. Um, magazines, articles. Be ready. Be flexible. These opportunities for a laugh sometimes appear out of the blue, but when they do appear, like when I do a presentation and it's there, I don't say, oh, should I? Nah, forget it. Let me just continue talking. No, I'm ready to seize it boop, in a moment's notice, right? I pounce on it, right? And in doing so, my final tip is just learn to laugh at yourself, guys. You got to learn to just laugh at yourself. One time, I was I was doing a workshop uh, in Latin America for a very, very, very large conference. And let's say the workshop is you're allowed to have 80 people, and I had like 120, and people were sitting on the floors, people were in the aisles, and when I'm in my groove, right, when my brain is thinking, my mouth is working more than my brain, etc., I wasn't paying attention. Well, I am 2 meters, so I couldn't see. I was at the people basically sitting on the floor. So during my presentation, at one point I found myself, um, let's say, cheek to cheek, face to face with two teachers that were sitting on the floor because I literally tripped over their feet and just gradually and I kind of glided through the air, making it look very graceful that I'm falling, like timber, and I fell on top of them. So this was something that, you know, if you're a professional, you say, oh my goodness, look what just happened to me. But if you seize that moment, you can have an entire room of 120 people just laugh hysterically at what happened. Okay, just as a tip. So why do I suggest these tips for you? Because when using humor and generating laughter in the classroom, you would think that students would feel that it makes the lesson more fun and less boring, right? But in a case study that I did with some students, and I asked them some questions regarding laughter, humor, and confidence, look and see what they said regarding these three um, topics, issues in class. That would be good. Let me just click here. They said that it makes school less stressful, less stressed for them. Interesting. Students said this. Laughter, humor, increasing confidence helps me understand more of what is being taught, right? Helps me feel more comfortable in the classroom. How important is that? Gets me more interested in the subject of English. Aha, more engaged. These answers came from students, okay, from different Zoom interactions that I had. These answers are not from one specific area. They are global. Okay, I wanted to choose an answer from each area of the world. Interesting. Okay, now with humor and laughter, did you guys know that life sure is better when you're laughing? So how many of you, how many of you have forgotten how to laugh during these 4, 5, 6, 7 months? Because I'm sure that with everything that's going on in our lives, we have had our blood pressure go up and down, right? Our blood pressure has been spastic during this time. And thinking about that, right? Um, hypertension and stress during all of this time. Why do we have it? We have it first and foremost because, well, it's all about the money, right? I mean, let's think about this. This time that we're living in right now is so stressful for not only us, but also our students. So, is it hard to be stressed? Ask yourself this. When you laugh, do you forget for a moment what is going on that is stressing you out, that is giving you this hypertension, that is causing this erratic blood pressure? Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. You forget about it. So if you see your students come into class and they're stressed, what would they be stressed about? They'd be stressed about a test, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? They'd be stressed about a quiz, about a project, about speaking in front of you, their insecurities, right? So what would you do? Start it off with something funny, make them relax a little bit during their day, right? My morning routine with my kids, I have to, within 1 hour and 15 minutes from the time they wake up to the time that the bus comes, I want them to laugh a little bit about something, anything, I don't care, right? The other day I was making eggs and they were in a really, really bad mood. They woke up like, OMG, in a bad mood. And I was making eggs. And then I said, you know what, guys? I go, can you guys juggle eggs? I said to them. And they were like, what? I go, can you juggle eggs? So right away they were like, no, that's too difficult. It's not difficult, please. And I started to do this. I said, see, it's not difficult. And all of a sudden, on purpose, of course, one of the eggs broke. And I said, oh, beep. I said, don't tell mommy. So right away, my son took the opportunity and was like, Mom. And I was like, oh, man. And we started laughing. You see what I'm saying? Seize the moment, find that opportunity, do it. Okay. Make them more relaxed. Yoga laughter. Yoga laughter. What is this? It's real? Yoga laughter? Absolutely it is, right? Someone wrote a more tolerating learning atmosphere. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In yoga laughter, there's no jokes, there's no humor, there's no comedy, there's nothing like that. You don't even need to be happy to do yoga laughter. Can you believe this? You don't even have to be happy. Initiate laughter through nonverbal body language. Laughter becomes real and contagious. Contagious, like the coronavirus. Oh my God. Yes, I swear to God. Yeah. No, you see, contagious. When you think of contagious, what do you think right now? Coronavirus. No, it could be laughter. Laughter is contagious. Okay. I have experienced it live. If you have experienced it, wonderful. That's perfect. But is it actually true? Let's take a look. Can you guys hear it? What's going on? Can you hear the video? Okay, you can. Okay. So, of course, laughter can be contagious, right? I mean, look what happens at the beginning. Did you see the people around him, how they were looking at him? Some of them were smiling, some of them were like, what is going on with this guy? This is a public place, dude. You're not supposed to laugh like that. That's not normal. But who's to say that this isn't normal? The guy's laughing, man. Yeah, but that's just too loud. Why? What? Why is he sounding? Why is he sounding like a dead pig being what? He can't breathe. What's going? Why is? And then all of a sudden, you're not laughing at him. You're laughing at the way he's laughing. You're laughing at the noises. You're laughing because he's so happy with what he's laughing at that it is connecting to you emotionally through your multisensory perception, and it's making you laugh. He's making you feel good. Imagine something like that happening in the classroom. That's all I got to say. That's it. That's all I got to say. Because a pinch of patience, a dash of kindness, a spoonful of laughter, and a heap of love, that's all it takes. It reduces negative emotions like anxiousness. Give me 5 more minutes and I'm finishing. I'm a little bit over. I do apologize. I know that it's 3 o'clock. I need 5 more minutes. Thank you. So, uh, it stimulates multiple physiological systems, decreasing what? The stress hormone, cortisol, epinephrine. It increases what? Dopamine, the reward system in your brain. It's those chemicals in the brain that make you feel stressed and tired and sad. And then those other chemicals in your brain that make you feel happy and excited and laughing. So the world, guys, it's so full of cortisol. I want you to be someone's dopamine. Okay? Okay. Because these little kitties, that's what it's all about, man. Laughter and feeling good that they're with you. It could be an antidepressant. Okay. I'm not going to show this video. Well, should I show this video? Are you going to give me 5 more minutes? Yes, of course you're going to give me 5 more minutes. Yes? Okay. Let's see this video about antidepressants, right? And who better to show us? Irony? I don't know. Situational irony? I don't know. Robert Williams, right? A guru in his profession, gone too soon, loved by all. In Mrs. Doubtfire, he's going for a job interview. Take a look, take a listen. Here we go, rock and roll. Where's the audio? Toot, toot. Here we go.
As your court liaison, I will be looking at two things. Your living environment. It's more like a habitat, really. And I will be coming by on Monday and Friday evenings to inspect it. Well, I'll put on a chicken. And of course, there's always the job issue. This is the nearest employment office. I've taken the liberty of making an appointment for you. Thank you. Oh, by the way, do you have any special skills? Oh, yes, I do. I do voices. What do you mean you do voices? Well, I do voices. Yeah.
They've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
We're happy to be in America. Don't ask for a green card.
Well, it's certainly a rough meeting, and it's not going very well for me, I'll tell you that. Hey, boss, give it a chance. She's going to loosen up any moment.
Look at me right now, Moneypenny. Want to undo that bow and get to know you.
First, to make a deal with you. Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head. Idiot! I'm sick of the gold mine.
Don't make me smack you, sweetheart. I'll do it. You do a great impression of a hot dog. Mr. Hillard, do you consider yourself humorous?
I used to. There was a time when I found myself funny. But today, you've proven me wrong.
So be careful, ladies and gentlemen, when you try to be funny and your audience doesn't think that you are. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right. Laughter helps you breathe better. Helps you breathe better, guys. And what could happen in class if students start laughing? Will they lose control? Will you lose control of your class management for a moment? Yes. So what? Who cares? Let them just sorry if I just deafened you, but yes, let them do that, because what this does is it allows students to pay attention, right? To refocus, to be happy, to be enthusiastic with being with you. Okay, think about it. It works. So in the closing slides of this presentation, I leave you with what Charlie Chaplin said: a day without laughter is a day wasted. Think about that. And as Walt Disney once said, laughter is absolutely timeless. All right. Imagination has no age, and dreams are forever. And our dear Frida Kahlo, one of my top 10 artists of all time. Nothing is worth more than laughter. It is strength to laugh and to abandon oneself, to be light. So, my dear friends, teachers, superheroes, be that light in your students' lives. Have them smile with you, have them enjoy being with you. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful morning, a wonderful evening. I wish to see you again in our upcoming webinars. Stay safe, stay positive, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you all soon. At some point, when the things calm down and we get to travel again, I look forward to meeting every single one of you at some point, okay, in the future. So take care. Bye.